Hello and welcome to my channel. Thanks for joining me. In today's short lesson, I want us to talk about when do you cube in the endgame position when your opponent still has checkers on the bar. So in this first position here, green has already taken off 14 checkers and only has a 1 you can see on the bar. Now as white, we have yet to take off a checker, but we have a closed board and we have good distribution with a spare checker on the 6, the 5 and the 4 point. So how many checkers here would we need to take off before we had a viable double? Now here you can see that it becomes a double pass when white has only 6 more checkers to take off. So here green only has a winning percentage of just over 18%, which is below the 25% you usually need for a take in a money game. And all these positions I'm going to show you are from a money game. So if you were to look at these positions at match play, you would need to adjust for different take points. And XG is very good for manipulating scores to see that when positions swing between takes and passes, dependent on whether you're ahead or behind in the score when playing, for instance, an 11-point match. So here you can see, as I said, this is a double pass with 6 checkers remaining and no risk. Even if white were to roll a 6-1, for instance, green might just enter from the bar. Now here it becomes a double take. You can see here that white has 7 checkers to bear off, so 1 more checker, and now green's winning percentage has crept up to just under 27%. Now if we were to make a further adjustment to this and put 4 checkers for white on the ace point and 3 on the 2 point or deuce point, then it would become a no double, because then white would have a risk of leaving shots being odd on the back point, the deuce point. So when an element of risk is present, then it usually becomes a take or even a no double, depending on how many checkers remain. So here it's still a double because there are only 5 checkers to bear off, but it's a big take in this position because you can see that white is going to leave a shot on many rolls. So you can go through the numbers here and you can see what's likely to happen. And that's why it becomes a take for green, because of the element of risk. So now let's have a look if green has 2 checkers on the bar. The other 13 have been taken off, and white, as before, has a closed board with good distribution. So here, how many checkers would you need to take off as white before it would become a viable double? And the answer is 3 checkers. Now here you can see on the left it's a double take with 3 checkers off and white having a closed board. Green has a winning percentage of just over 25%. And on the right hand side, with the 6-point open, it's also a double take. Now, even though green has a winning percentage of just under 22%, of course, there is recube value here. If green were to roll a double 6, for instance, then white would receive the cube back. Now, if we were to take a further checker off on the position on the right, so white only had 2 checkers on the 5 point, then it would become a pass for green. So here the crossover point is 3 checkers. 3 checkers off, double take, 4 checkers off, double pass. And another good rule of thumb is the difference of 5 checkers. So here, when white has 1 checker off and green has 6 checkers off, so a difference of 5, and green has 1 checker on the bar, then it's a double take. And you can see there the winning percentages just on the panel on the left of the screen. And on the right position, if white were to take another checker off the 5 point, then it would become a pass. So 1 checker off for white, 6 checkers off for green, with 1 checker on the bar, a difference of 5 becomes a double take, and a difference of more than 5 would often become a double pass. But again, you would have to take into consideration the risk of potentially leaving shots, which should influence your decision, and of course, match play considerations. So there we are, a few reference positions for you to think of. I hope you found that useful. Goodbye.